I think that Reverend Rivera has good intentions, but I think it's poor strategy. I'm a pastor, and I'm urging everyone in my congregation and everyone in our network, Latino Leadership Circle, etc., to partake in the census, because I think what Reverend Rivera is doing is conflating two issues in a way that doesn't help either issue. Immigration reform on the one hand, and partaking in the census on the other. These are two disparate issues that he's conflating in ways that is not going to benefit either undocumented or illegal immigrants, if you use that language, or citizen Latinos and Latinas in New York and elsewhere. I think his intentions may be noble, but his strategy is poor, and it's going to adversely affect. As a matter of fact, Esperanza, who hosts the National Hispanic Prayer Breakfast, and other large Latino evangelical organizations have come out in favor of participating in the census. They've partnered with NALEO and LULAC. So I'm hoping Reverend Rivera reconsiders in ways that is not detrimental to the undocumented population or the citizen population.
Yeah, before we get to Dr. Beveridge, to give us a more global view about the numbers and the census, Hector, my question to you is, what are you hearing? Because the numbers so far suggest that, and it's not just Latinos, but particularly among Latino communities, the numbers so far seem to be pretty low.
The numbers so far are pretty low. I think that we need to do a better effort to publicize the need to participate in the census. I agree with the Reverend that a strategy of calling our community not to participate, especially in places like Long Island, while well-intended, is going to backfire, because we need resources in those communities for transportation, for public education, for many of the services that our community, whether they're here legally or not, documented or undocumented, will need. I believe that in the coming weeks, as people start to get door knocking, for them to fill out the forms, that we need to really raise our voices, unions, community organizations, churches, elected officials, to make sure that everybody is counted. But I agree, the numbers are low, and we need to double our effort to get those numbers to be higher.
Dr. Beveridge, what is it that we need to see, or that you expect to see, from this census in terms of telling us about who's in New York and what they need?
Well, I think the one thing that's very clear, and has been clear for quite a while, is the incredibly rapid growth of the Hispanic community, which includes both documented and undocumented. And if, in fact, the undocumented choose not to participate in the census, or any Hispanics choose not to participate in the census, I mean, you're actually falling in line with the Tea Party and with people in Texas who actually would like to disenfranchise and not count the undocumented for reapportionment. So in other words, let's say in New York they decided not to count Hispanics or non-citizens for reapportionment. What that would simply do is it would shift all of the power upstate. It would shift it into the suburbs. It would shift it to the wealthier neighborhoods away from the minority communities. And so it's a sort of an irony that the Hispanic, a leader of the Hispanic community has in effect allied himself with the Tea Party, with Senator Vitter from Louisiana, Senator Bennett from Utah, to try to, in effect, disenfranchise Latinos.